Today we're going to be playing Metal Gear Solid. The rules for this run: we can't shoot any guns, and the use of the term shoot is really quite specific, just for one instance. We've also got to play on extreme, and we also have to fight all bosses. We're not allowed to skip half the game like the any percent route. Now this is my first time trying to play on extreme, and I did find the lack of radar maddening. It's really quite tricky until you've got the guard routes down. But initially we can just hide behind this truck. Now, as most people know here, this guard is completely blind until he's level with the floor. So we can run out, wait for him to pop out, and just head behind him, and he won't be able to see us. Run round to the side. Now, one thing that is going to be really important, we need to pick up as many grenades and explosives whenever we can. We need all of the sub-weapons whenever possible. So I'm just going to come in here and use one of these chaffs just to grab these stun grenades here. No, we don't need to go up there. Force a habit. I'll just pass under that camera, and then we can hide behind this pillar. Make sure that the guard isn't there. It's nice and safe. Just wait for him to approach up, and then we can follow him back around and go into the vent. Now in this run there are a couple of sticking points that I had in mind before I came in, but fortunately we've near enough managed to clear all of them. There's a dubious moment much later on, and I'll let you decide. Into the vent. Okay, down here, we want to head to the left. Grab those chaff grenades, and just keep an eye on that camera. Now, because on extreme the guards hear so well, you'll see me mashing like this. What this does is it actually stops Snake taking a step, which means that they don't hear your footsteps, even though we can hear this very loud clicking noise. So as soon as the camera sort of mode changes here, we can run straight up. And hug the right hand side there. Now be wary of this guard, he will catch you. Now this is not low kills, and you will see quite often I will end up having to farm rations because we can only carry one at a time. And there's only one in the whole game. And I believe that's in Vulcan Raven's stomping ground. Down we go to the DARPA Chief. So the basic strat here, what we want to do, initially just throw a stun grenade, and then we want to break the neck of as many of these guards as we can. When we stun them, they will fall down, and you can actually grab them as they're falling and carry on to choke them. We also want to avoid that spinning box, because that is actually the SOCOM.
What are you waiting for? Shoot!
But unfortunately, Cutscene Snake picks it up for us.
I'm telling you, shoot!
So at this next wave, we'll do the same thing, stand directly in the doorway, and just keep mashing the button to try to choke them again. You can actually use them as a human shield, and if any of the guards shoot at you whilst you're choking someone out, you'll damage them instead. As we've been hit, replenish that ration when we can. Now there is a strategy I'm not doing here that I could be. When you've broken someone's neck, you can actually cancel the animation by switching into a different weapon, so then I could act sooner, but here it's fine, we've got enough time. Just keep to the front of the room, those grenades can't hurt you. Okay, so that's the first forced encounter down. Let's move down into the armory. Now Ocelot was initially a bit of a problem. Had a look around and I couldn't quite figure out how to do it. I couldn't seem to get close enough to him, especially on extreme. So I initially thought about maybe using C4. But lo and behold, the speedrunning community have a method, and that's exactly what I used. And it worked out very well. In fact, it worked out to be easier than I think it would have been trying to shoot at him, which was astonishing to me at the time. Now there should be some stun grenades or some chaff grenades in here, so it's worth trying to get them. Okay, so we can come back and get those 3 potentially after the boss fight, and we can hold more ammo. Just be wary not to blow yourself up, because you will kill yourself if you're not careful, as I did at least once. Okay, final C4, and get everything ready, get some grenades, load the ration up just in case, and let's go in.
Ready?
So you can repeat this movement pattern. You run down to the bottom, rub against that pillar, run up to the second pillar, and as soon as you see your hitbox get moved, hold up and left, and then run towards the cables, and then just let go as you cross the line. Repeat that 3 times, and Ocelot's down.
I love to reload during a battle. There's nothing like the feeling.
There's a very good guide for beating Ocelot with grenades that I will leave in the description. It's the one that I used to practice and have a go at this, and honestly it only took 3 or 4 attempts to start getting into it and getting it right. So now we've got to be a little more careful, as there are some guards in here now. Shouldn't be any this side, but I should be able to drag one of the guards down here.
What was that noise?
If you don't hear it come down, just tap twice and the elevator will open straight away. So that was the call from Mel saying that the door's now open. So we should be able to go out and face the next boss. But first off, I just want to try to get a ration. I'm a little low on health and I'd like to have it filled up a little more. Brilliant. One thing to note about this game, the range for getting a chokehold is actually really quite short. You've got to be very careful. There is a better way to do it. If you're going to try to choke someone, punch them first, and that gives you more leeway to actually get in and choke them. That box there is the SOCOM suppressor that we don't need because we're not going to use the SOCOM. So now, because I haven't picked up the thermal goggles, just equip the cigarettes. And I think this actually makes it easier to cross than the thermal goggles because you can only see the one that you're about to run under. There we go. And the last one. Just pick up as many of these claymores as you can. They'll come in handy here, and they'll come in handy later. I'm just leaving and going back in, so I don't have to do that every single time that I'll get beaten by this tank. So initially, just throw a chaff grenade off to the side. As soon as that pops, get your claymores ready. Now head up towards the tank. And you want to put down a claymore next to one of its tracks, so that when it runs over it, it'll slow it down and make it much easier to throw grenades into the top. Okay, now that side is done. I'm just going to get one ready on the other side, and that should basically not be able to move. Now one thing I did find, I found it much harder to be able to land a grenade that sinks right into the hole for the tank. I'm not quite sure why I found it so difficult here. It might just be that it is more difficult on extreme, but run towards the tank when it's relatively still and throw a grenade at the person. Now when the next one pops up, make sure you only start throwing grenades when they stop flashing. And that's it, job's done. That didn't hit him? Right, I've run out of grenades, so sling a chaff. That should give me enough chance to run and grab some more grenades. There are actually some more on the right hand side as well. Hide behind there, I don't want to get hit by the tank there. And now we can go back and start trying to lob some grenades back in. I only need to hit him with 2 more, so we should be fine. That should get him. Really? Okay, 1 more. I think that's it. Boss number 2 down. Right, into the nuclear storage facility. Now again, I'm low on life, so there's a guard just here to the left that we should be able to hopefully get a ration off. We'll see him just pop up between those 2 warheads. Don't walk over the corrugated part because I believe that's noise making floor. And there's another guard up there that we can potentially get if we need to. Let's get those chaff grenades. We haven't got any at the minute, so it's always worthwhile to keep some on us. Now using our level 3 card, what we need to do, we need to just go into one of these side rooms and grab the Nikita. We don't need to go all the way back to the armory to get it.
What was that noise?
Now I'm just dragging this guy over because it speeds up his guard routine, and I'm hoping that will allow me to choke him out and potentially get an easy ration from him. But you don't have much room to see in front of you as you're walking towards the camera there. Okay, Nikita. Very good. And ration. Perfect. Just what I needed. So this is exactly the same as it would be in any other run. Try to hug the right hand side wall. That makes it a little harder for them to shoot at you. Let's try again. Let's go and get some oxygen back. That's the FAMAS, we don't want that at all. Okay, let's go. This is the gas mask, which will come in handy. I mean, I don't necessarily need it, but I'd rather have it and not need it than vice versa. Perfect, loading up on some explosives. Just went a little bit too early for that. Okay, absolutely full on Nikita, and there we go, that should be that.
Ready? Go! Make me feel it. Make me feel alive again.
As expected, we fight the ninja basically as intended. There's a few things to be wary of though in the fight.
Good. Now we can fight as warriors. Hand to hand. It is the basis of all combat. Only a fool trusts his life to a weapon.
This is the strat. You hide on this U-shape and move from side to side because he'll run at you and you can meet him as he's reaching the corner, then go to the other side. When he does that, jumps up into the air in between, equip a chaff grenade or something. It'll put that question mark above his head and he'll jump away, because otherwise you can get him out of sync and he'll just end up kicking you to death. When he comes off from those sorts of angles, that can be a little bit spooky, but generally speaking, if you just follow this pattern, you'll be fine. That was quite close, almost got out of sync. That's the issue, he ends up following you and doing that spin kick over and over, so just get a chaff grenade or a weapon out and that'll force him to stand still. Now the first place you obviously always know where he's going to be, and you need to have a generally good idea for where he can be when he's teleporting, and just keep an eye on those points. I believe stereo does also help let you know where he's going to be as well. So this is now moving into phase 3. Run at him, punch once, listen for the sound of him punching, and then do a punch-punch kick combo at him. So you'll stand up, you walk up, punch once, he disappears, you hear the sound, run back and punch-punch kick. Rinse and repeat. Now one thing to be wary of, when he does do the first explode attack, it is enormous. It is massive. I died to that twice. So as soon as the music disappears, run away as fast as you can.
That's good, Snake.
Okay, now I'm not going to be running in and punching him. I don't think I've got enough time, so instead, hope you've got enough grenades left over from the tank fight to throw some grenades at him. I actually lost a run here because I didn't have any grenades and I would have had to have shot him, so make sure you've got enough grenades. I believe it's 4 that you need in total. Okay, that's a Cyborg Ninja down. And we've still got a ration to spare, which is very good. He is definitely quite a tough boss fight. So I'm just going to see if I can grab any of the goodies that are left in here. And then we're going to move on. Be careful of that camera. Got some extra goodies. Yes, that's still a FAMAS. Let's see if there are any more goodies around here we can grab. Sometimes after boss fights, some of the ammo and that sort of thing do replenish, but not all the time. Night vision goggles, they will be helpful in the caves later. And we'll use one of those chaff grenades, I believe. And we should just be able to just slide down the side of all the cameras. And let's go back into the elevator. Now it's time to do something called the ration dance, and this is something that we'll have to do a couple of times, but we just need to make sure we're fully ready for the next fight. So we're going to run down here, knock out this poor fella, and then reset. This poor bloke didn't half take some damage in this run. Perfect. Right, let's go. As we were, let's go down into here. And then alert Meryl. She's the guard that is in the different place. And let's follow her into the ladies. Okay, whilst we've got her, is there anything else that we can pick up whilst we're here? The box will be very useful, but aside from that, there's nothing else there.
Ready? Go!
So initially when you start the Mantis fight, just choke out Meryl. You can also punch kick her. Choking her out will mean she's got a little bit more health. Doesn't make a whole heap of difference, but... Come on, Meryl. Three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. Now the boss fight will start proper.
Useless woman.
Okay. So keep stun grenades equipped just in case. Swap, obviously, controller ports. And then whilst he's doing this, just keep running left to right, avoid where he throws these at you. There are a couple of different phases. When he walks into the middle, we're going to have to run up and punch him. One punch at a time. When he first brings in these chairs, crouch underneath. Stand up and punch. You can actually get 4 punches in here. Maybe more. Again, through these deer heads, we can stand them, crouch down and punch them. They won't hit you if you're crouched. You don't need to be lying down, just crouched. Yeah, don't crouch there. You want to run to avoid those. Now, to speed this up, you can press the triangle button, see through his eyes, see where he's going to go, and punch him before he has a chance to throw the invisible objects at you. But I didn't figure that out until much later in the fight. Wait for them to go over you, and now... Yes, I stood up too soon. Now they're going to go. Crouch now. Stand up and punch. Now that box, or those books that come out, will hit you if you're stood or crouched. So it's actually easier to just not hit him in that phase. And now we've basically seen all of his patterns. The only thing that will change towards the end of the fight, there's a point where he'll do all of his telekinetic attacks at once, and that's it. So these two come out, then they move for a second time, stay still, they move for a third time, go and punch Mantis. One thing I will say, this boss fight, it really is quite grueling. It's really long, and you can't make that many mistakes. Like, trying to do it without shooting them, the amount of damage you do is so little. You've got to make sure that you stay concentrated for such a long time. It's quite reminiscent of the Metal Gear 2 Raise fight in that regard, just on the how long it takes to do. Yeah, you can see if you can get him on the right hand side especially, there's nothing that will come at you and you can get a few hits off on him. Okay, they're going to cross over me again. Now we're safe to go. Okay, he's going to again try to bring up Meryl for us. And the strat again is exactly the same. You can either throw a stun grenade for her, or you can choke her out, or you can punch kick her.
You are powerful indeed, but I know your weak point. Meryl, stand right where he can see you and blow your
You've just tried this, mate.
Stop! Meryl!
No! It cannot be! No!
Okay, this is where things started to get a little dicey. I avoided these attacks for quite a while, thinking that it'd just move on to the next phase, when what I actually needed to do was use the first person view mode to follow where he was and then go and punch him before he could throw the attack. Now at this point I'd tried this fight quite a few times and I was a little scared to do anything new, but I did just need to follow him and punch him, which I should start to do shortly. I don't want to hit him when he's behind that table. It's quite difficult to get round to in time. So as we keep doing this, he'll now move into the final phase, where he'll use all of his telekinetic powers at once. And he'll get a few opportunities to just stand up and bop him. Now right in the middle here, it actually doesn't matter, just look at the chairs. But if he was off to the side, you'd need to worry about the flying paintings and books as well. But here we can just worry about the chairs. Ooh, finally. Nothing else behind there, just some useless soak-on bullets. And now time to go through the cave. This is where the night vision goggles will come in somewhat handy, just as I re-jog my memory on the way to go. If you do get seen by one of the wolves, you can just punch them to get them away from you temporarily.
Snake, what's wrong? I thought you were good with dogs.
And now, to make our life a little bit easier the next time we have to come through here, that box we picked up earlier, well, punch Mal, get in the box. And now the next time we come through here, they won't attack us when we're wearing the box.
What are you thinking?
Okay, so pick up all the claymores. Now, this is quite unfortunate. We are going to have to go back and get the PS2 one. It's a real shame, but we can't progress without getting it. So, let's run all the way back to where we were, all the way back in the armory to go ahead and grab it. And whilst we're at it, we might as well try to get a couple of rations, potentially. Brilliant, got a ration. That's fine, we should be in good stead. And instead of keeping that health, we're just going to run into some claymores. Why not? Okay, unfortunately here's the stupid gun we've got to get. It is a shame, but yeah, what can you do, eh? There's just no way around it, really. There's no way to not use the PS2 on. So unfortunately, I believe that will be the first instance where we need to use a gun in the run. But we can go ahead and grab some claymores and set ourselves up for the rest. Mainly for the staircase fight that will come up a little bit later.
Ready? Go!
So as I said, we do need to use the PS2 but we don't actually need to shoot it per se. There is a bit of a thing you can do, so let's see how that goes. No, that was completely wrong. So the way this works, you need to take damage whilst prone. You also need to be holding a keycard and another weapon. And as soon as you take damage whilst you're prone, you unequip the keycard, hold down the first person view button, mash a bunch of the buttons, so the D-pad and all that sort of thing. Just keep mashing, and as you're getting up, hold down R2 and then swap out to the sniper rifle. The game will think you're still holding your previous item, but it'll display the sniper rifle equipped, and you can then use that first weapon, but instead it'll take away from the ammo pool of the second, so in this case the sniper rifle. But when you've got the sniper rifle equipped here, Sniper Wolf will struggle to hit you. Oh look! I can run around with it! This is called the weapons glitch, and this is a bit of a dubious point in the run, because I'm not actually using a PSG1, because I'm not going to shoot it, but without getting it, I had no way to beat her without shooting the gun at all, so this is the best that can be done, and as you can see, Sniper Wolf is rather glitchy here, and we can just punch her to death. Looks like she's glitched downstairs. Yeah, she does go a little bit mental. That's Sniper Wolf down without shooting a gun, but not without using one, so that's up to you.
Press the circle button repeatedly to regain your strength. When you've had enough, press the select button.
And now we're going to do the torch scene.
When your life...
But you'll find out what happens there later.
Wait.
Okay, so let's get the ketchup out.
What are you playing around with that ketchup for?
Yeah, apparently on Extreme, Johnny realises it's ketchup straight away. So thanks for that, Otacon. Very useful. But you can keep an eye on him when he falls asleep. Go under the bed. You can see through ketchup, but you know, he can't use his eyes.
Maybe if I walk a little. Huh? He's gone!
Okay, let's just go and knock him out. Very good. One nice thing, going through the torture sequence does replenish all your health. It's one of 3 full heals that the game gives you on Extreme. There's one here, there's one for the liquid fight, and there's one for the finale. Just throw the bomb away. And now, it's a case of just get back to where we were already. One thing to note when you go through these doors, avoid these 2 cameras. Better than I do. All that health I was given, now gone. Brilliant. But aside from that, the rest of the backtrack is identical to what we've seen before. Let's just check to see if there are any goodies around here. Thought there were. PS2-1. Now PS2-1 ammo might come in helpful if we do need to do the weapon glitch again. Okay, now we're here. All the claymores we've been picking up across our back travels, we'll actually need to put down here just to slow down the guards that will come up behind us. I believe you can put down 8 in total, but this should slow them down enough, and you'll hear them as you're running up the steps. Now another thing to do that actually makes it a little easier is if you initiate this alert. So what I'm going to do, throw a grenade, and that will initiate the alert instead of the cameras seeing me, which means it'll start further back.
Ready? Go!
Make sure you grab the rope. Make sure you grab the rope. Now equip stun grenades and just keep running. You'll hear the explosions down on the floor. And you can either judo flip the people you run into, if you're particularly good at that sort of thing, or you can just throw some stun grenades. So now I've started to hear them shoot at me. I can throw some stun grenades, and he's following me, so I'll throw another one. Why not? I believe that's about halfway. We haven't been hit that much, which is quite good. One thing to note about the stun grenade, they have infinite range. You don't need to worry about one of them being well down the stairs as you're running up past it. should be right at the end now. I think this is the last flight of stairs. Now head up the stairs, and we're off free. Now this section I suck at. I didn't really know what I was doing, so I just jumped down as quickly as I could. If there is a better way to do it, would someone let me know? Yeah, I just suck at the repel part, so I just carried on jumping. Just wanted to get down as quickly as I could. Yeah, as you can see, we are rather low on life, which is not good. That is not good for the upcoming parts, but here, there are 3 guards down there that will constantly respawn. And because we can't use a PS2 on, which would be the normal way to kill them, we want to stand off to the side and use Nikitas. Using the Nikita will mean that we don't have to shoot at them, and also they can't hit us when we're around this corner, so they'll just sit there like lemons and just take Nikitas to the face for the next couple of minutes. Right, there are none left and I'm wasting that Nikita. No, that should be fine. That should be enough Nikitas. So, equip the card and just make a dash for it so we can avoid getting shot at by liquid. Grab the stinger. Okay, now we need to go up the camera stairs. Bear in mind you can only seem to get past 1 set of cameras per chaff grenade that you throw. So what I tend to do is I just keep track of how many sets of steps I've run up past each camera. So that's 1, 2. This will be 3, so I can throw the grenade. And by the time I get up the next set of steps, yep, so 1, 2, 3, throw, and keep running, and it should. There we go. And now it's time for one of the more difficult boss fights in the game. It's time to face the music. Let's see if we've got any other goodies here. Okay, fully loaded. 20 out of 20. Very good. Now, there are two ways to be looking to find out where he is. Number one, you can use the stereo sound, or the box shown by the stinger. Now, given the textures that are here, it can actually be really tricky to see that grey in amongst all this other grey. The fight is relatively standard, there's nothing out of the ordinary here, but one thing to note, when you do hit him, move to the opposite side of this box, because he will shoot at you. Then you can track where he goes over. So now I'm going to shoot him again and move behind the box. Here's a little bit different because obviously the big wall's going to be in the way. I'll fly over, can we hit him again? Oh, there it is. Come on. Okay, now he said nice shot. Now we need to run and grab the extra ammo. That gives us plenty of time to run and get it, and this is when he's going to fire the first missile. And where you want to hide from both of the missiles is here. So for the first shot you just need to hide in the northern half of the map, it's fine, but there is a very specific place where you'll want to stand for the second one, otherwise he will hit you. Okay, so now that he's doing this, in the second phase and hiding underneath, you want to see if you can lock on him as he's down on the ground, and then hit him with a stinger just as he pops up, and then hide in the opposite corner to him. Might be able to get a couple of extra cheeky hits. So you can get a couple of shots to curve around walls like that once you're locked on, but if you're not feeling confident about that, you can just wait for him to present himself. So otherwise that will happen. Okay, we haven't got much ammo left. We haven't got any life left. We can't get hit once. Okay, keep running, keep running, keep running. Okay, it's hiding down here. And he pops up. Get behind the wall as quickly as we can. Two more shots. I've only got 3 left. Surely that's only 1 shot left. Okay, he's now going to go and fire the second missile. Hide here on the wall and press back against it. So you can see him just going off there. Now press back up against the wall just here, and you'll be fine. Okay, so that's the Hind D taken care of. Now we've got really quite a tricky part. We've got no real way to get any rations without hideous amounts of backtracking, and I don't particularly want to do any backtracking. So we're just going to have to figure out a way to get around this. We need to run all the way back down the stairs, throwing chaff grenades as we go, avoid all those cameras again. Fortunately, it's somewhat easier this time because you can run down until you can see them. There we go. I find it much easier to judge on the way down. Okay, and now that we've got past all of those, because this is going to take quite a few attempts, we're going to run past the elevator and exit out this door. And then when we come back, when we have to continue, we'll continue from there, not where we were before. Okay, choke the guy out in the bottom left, as quick as you can. Then, cancel into grenade and choke this guy out. Judo flip that guy. And now we've got a ration, so we should be able to survive. And now we can just choke out either of these two at our leisure. That looked really easy. That took me about 40 attempts to get right. Thank you to the speedrunning community for the damageless strat there. So now let's just check to see if there are any more goodies we can pick up. A couple of bits. And now it's on to Sniper Wolf number 2. But before we get in, let's see if I can just get any ammo beforehand. Nope. Ah, that's fine.
Ready? Go!
I'm sure plenty of people have done this. So come ahead, crouch in this corner on the right hand side. get out of Nikita. And here, she can't hit you. And now we can just Nikita her to death. It really is that simple. This is a bit of a joke, really. I remember it being really quite difficult when I played initially, but we just need to shoot her repeatedly. Just going to see if there's any other ammo I can pick up, because I might be a little low on Nikitas here. Whoops, don't go that far. That's fine. We'll just carry on shooting with all of these, and surely some Nikitas should spawn once I hit 0. That's usually when the ammo spawns in boss fights. So just use all of these. Okay, now let's go ahead and find some Nikitas. There's got to be some here somewhere. Yeah. No, that's PS2 And this is where I realised that there aren't any. So, I made the decision to run all the way back to Mantis. Right, so that's the Nikita ammo I needed, and now we've got to head all the way back. I could have used the weapons glitch again, but considering that already felt like an edge case, I decided against it, and as I did have the possibility to just go and get more ammo, that's what we did. We're back. I'm doing it the way that I wanted to. Yeah, now we've just got to Nikita again, all over again, but this time we've at least got enough. Okay, Sniper Wolf down. And now, up here on the snowfield, there are a bunch of goodies, and we're going to try to get as much as we can. Okay, so coming here. I don't actually care for a bunch of the items that are in here, but I do want all these claymores. Diazepam won't be very useful at all, but we want as many claymores as we can for the upcoming Vulcan Raven fight. That's a bunch of ammo for guns we're not going to use. Slinger chaff in here. Go ahead and grab all the goodies. And just cross over to the other side. we're going to have to do the same thing again. Sling a chaff in, grab all the goodies. We will want all of those Nikitas. Just crawl under these boxes to get away from that camera, it won't see you. Okay, on to disc 2. I didn't want to throw that chaff grenade into the lava at all, but that's fine. Do I need that? Yeah, why not? I believe you can actually break this thing by shooting a Nikita at it. But you can just as well walk up to it, crouch, wait for it to go over your head, and then carry on. I don't think there's anything down there for me actually, but let's have a quick look. No, nothing I need down here. Let's grab these stun grenades and head through into the boiler room. Just avoid all of the steam as you can and crawl under here. What ammo's that? Okay, we will want to grab the body armour, that is very useful. Wait for this camera to face the other way again. Let's grab those chaff grenades over there. Spend one to get an extra two. It's fine with me. One thing I did realise doing this in Extreme is actually how you can just crawl under most of these. Okay, he's all the way up there. Let's head on through. Okay, let's just hop onto the lift. Okay, this is our next forced encounter. Honestly, it's nothing to write home about. If you've got some health to spend, you can just run up at them, punch, kick them, and flip all of them over the railings. Or you can choke them out, it's really not too bad at all. It's only the 4 of them. And done. Now, on the right hand side, just be wary of this camera, it can be a real pain. You can't see it from here, but if you just look up to the right, you should be able to see it. It can be quite tricky to avoid. It's in really quite a sneaky place. And then when you have to return past here, be wary because there are actually some mines that will be there. Now I also believe there's some mines here. Yes. Be wary of them. But if you were running around with the body armour at this point, if you take a mine to the face, it's actually not too much of a setback. And now it's time for Vulcan Raven.
Ready? Go!
So the strat I went with here, equip the Nikita, head here, wait for the flashes on your guns to flash twice, and you'll be able to hopefully get in a loop like this. As soon as you see the large explosion, cancel the Nikita and re-equip it, and that'll allow you to shoot faster. You can use that stun lock to completely take him out. That was a little slow. So now that I've managed to hit myself, I mean he's down to half health, but he's going to follow the same path always. So run around the box, wait for him to run past, and in essence you want to set up claymores that he'll run over on his path. And now we can just sit here and enjoy the fireworks. See if we can see him. Where's he gone? Ah, there he is. He must be the other side. And that's Raven down. But now we just want to run around, see if there are any extra items and bits and pieces we can get. Don't believe there's much for us. But we're always grateful for Stinger missiles especially. They'll be very useful going forwards. Now this room looks really quite intimidating, but it's very easy. All you have to do, hug the right hand side of this corridor, hug the bottom here, and hug the right hand side of the gangway, and they can't see you. Now, just to grab some of the items up there, I'm just going to throw a chaff. And that should give me enough time to get everything and get back down. A useless mine detector that explicitly says does nothing on hard and extreme. Our first visit to Rex's chamber. Grab those chaffs that are there, and then proceed to head up the steps. Once you've done this run once, the items won't respawn. So we're going to do some running around, collecting all the items, just making sure that we're as loaded up as we can be for the upcoming fight. And then we're just going to be running as quickly as we can up and down the stairs, as we have to do it quite a few times. I believe we've got to go up and down these steps 7 times in total. There are some extra stingers down here, which we will use to replenish as we use them later. There's the one guard that's patrolling at the other side of Rex that I'm not even going to bother trying to sneak past. I'm just going to stinger him from across the room. I tried a couple of times to sneak past and it just didn't work, so we'll just murder him with a surface-to-air missile. So basically every single time we come past here, we're just going to hit him with the Stinger missile. And it doesn't look like there's anything up here at all. So, into the control room. Right, after that, a brief interlude. Just equip some body armour and punch kick or run away from the guy. Or just flip him over the side, that's fine. Now we've got to go and find the PAL card. And there are 2 ways that you'll have to find it. If you've been spotted or had more than 10 alerts, you can just find it in the trench. It'll just be lying down there somewhere. But if you've had less than 10, that's when a rat will eat it. So if you're ever wondering why that's happened, why you're suddenly getting a call saying a rat's eaten it, that's why. Initially, I had a look around assuming that it should be in a rat, because that's what my previous playthrough was, and then realised, no, I've been seen 1,000,000 times, so it will just be in the trench. So, yeah, there we go. Found the PAL key. And back up we go to go and do the room temperature key. Key 1 completed. Now back to the cold room. And we've just got to wait for it to cool down a little bit, really. Nice. Let's go back to Rex. Back up into the control room. Key 2 completed. And now back to the hot room. But on our way back, there are actually guards that spawn in here now. And I'm just going to try to see if I can get any extra equipment for the next fight from them. So this guy will run down there to the left. You can choke him out. And then press up against these boxes to your right and wait for the second guard to walk past. And now from here we can choke him out again. Now there is a third guard and I'm not quite sure where he is. So we can actually use the Stinger missile launcher to try to see where he is. There he is, he's over there. That'll give us an idea. Now we can have a look. He's to the right hand side. I'm just going to lure him over here.
What was that noise?
Unfortunately we're seen, but there's no one else in the room, so nothing will happen. But when you are seen like that, you won't get any rations. So now we can run up here, wait for this fella to run down. Now this is where I learnt about the punch and choke trick, because I got seen by him quite a few times. But if you punch him, you can actually rub up closer to them whilst you're choking them out, and it won't class as an alert. Now let's go wait and heat up the Palkey. So I found the fastest place to be in here. Nice, all red, let's go. Okay, back up into here. Keycard completed.
Detonation code activated.
No, why?
Okay, immediately put on the gas mask and call Otacon.
I hacked into security. Snake, I'm opening the door.
Ready? Go!
Okay, Ray can be kind of tricky, but because we've been hoarding chaff grenades for so long, we can make this fight a lot easier. So I throw 3 chaff grenades and then try to hit the dish twice, run away. Then throw a few more chaff grenades, so 1, 2, 3. Get well out of where he'll shoot at us. And now we can shoot at the dish twice again. Rinse and repeat. Phase 1's really not too bad, especially if you've got the equipment to deal with it. Phase 2 can be a little bit trickier, for sure. And I don't think I went with the fastest strat by any stretch of the imagination, but I went with a very safe strat, and it feels a little more in fitting with the game as well, considering I followed the stealth strat. Okay, one more hit. Okay, now on to phase 2. Sling, I don't think you need to sling chaff grenade, but do throw a stun grenade. Now stand directly underneath Rex. Try to stay in between his feet. So he hasn't seen where we've gone. And now we can shoot the cockpit from underneath him and he won't know what's hit him. But he will try to keep turning round and trying to find out where we are. But we can just keep hiding under here from him. Which makes this really quite safe. And especially considering if you do mess up here, you have to go through the entirety of phase 1 again, watch the cutscene with Grey Fox again. I just wanted to make sure I'd get it right. The one thing that can happen if you do make a mistake here, he can see you and you'll get plasma cutted to the face, which is not good. Like this. You will start to get a feel for when he stands still, ready for you to just be able to stinger him in the face. But honestly, this is nowhere near as difficult as the Ray fights from the second game. I'd say so far, Mantis was probably the hardest boss fight. Raven was kind of tricky, but once I'd managed to figure out the rhythm to get him into the Nikita stunlock, he wasn't too bad at all. Okay, last one. Maybe not last one. Now last one. Just avoid that and he's down.
Snake! I'll crush you into dust! Ready? Go!
The final boss fight. Now this was really quite tricky. One thing to bear in mind about Extreme is that if he knocks you off the edge at all, you won't grab on, you will just die. So bear that in mind. Now initially, for this first phase, you can just follow him around and punch him. When you see him guard, swing one punch, run backwards, he'll do the kick, and you can counter. So again, and whiff punish.
Nice shot!
So now we're moving into phase 2. Punch, punch, kick, run away, he'll punch twice, go back in. Punch, punch, kick, run away, he'll punch twice. And you can keep this rhythm going. this will carry on going until you knock him off the side. Although this looks pretty easy doing it now, it's really quite tricky. The hitbox for the punch kick combo seems off, and it seems a lot of times you'll miss a bunch of attacks that you feel should have hit. Okay, that was really quite close. When he's doing the headbutt, you can manage to interrupt it if you're lucky. Okay, one more combo should do it. Ow. One more hit and I'm gone. Okay, he's done.
Hurry!
Of course we save Meryl. I wasn't going to play on extreme and submit to the torture. Of course we saved her. Right, the strat here, because we obviously, can't really do a whole heap. Run behind this Jeep and wait for the fella to walk up to you. Now choke him out.
All right, keys.
Run behind this Jeep now. And you can basically do the same thing. That should conserve as much health as you can. Now hop on and try to shoot those barrels as quickly as you can.
Fire that machine gun with your weapon. Snake, hold on.
First off, you want to be shooting to the right hand side. And yes, this is the actual only time in the whole run that we have to use a gun, and it's very unfortunate, but there's no way around it at all. Now there is a trick for this. You can see that the guards aren't actually attacking me, and that's because I've got a second controller plugged into port 2 and I'm moving the analog stick on it, and that's moving the guards away, actually giving me a chance to be able to kill them and take out all the barrels without taking as much damage. This is grueling without doing that. I found it really difficult to try to stun lock all the enemies as it's going on. So keep shooting to the right hand side, and then when it comes round, do the same trick again here. So you can see the sort of shaking around and not hitting me. And I've only got the one shooting at me. So now we've got about half health to get for the rest of the escape. And honestly, this part is infuriating. The amount of times I got to the final section and he just ended up finishing me off. And these sections where he's going left to right aren't too bad at all. This is quite tricky. What I would say is when he hits you, look at where the gun is compared to the lines on the road and use that to adjust yourself to be straight on. Otherwise you'll swing wildly and he'll get a shot off on you. Okay, here, when you're going through here, just make sure that the traces for the bullets are exactly going over him. Otherwise he will get extra shots off, and this is where I died 3 or 4 times. It is tricky to aim at him, but with some practice you will get it.
Look, Snake, daylight. We're gonna crash.
And that's it. We're off scot-free. Metal Gear Solid 1 without shooting any guns. Mostly. Nearly. Almost. If it wasn't for that one little bit at the end, it'd have been perfect. But there wasn't a way around it. I want to say thank you to the Metal Gear Speedrunners Discord. Thank you to my friends who kept me sane whilst I was trying to do this. And thanks to you. Good night.